Terra Vita. This is fucking wicked, man. This is wicked. Like, usually I'm dealing with drunks and I'm like finally people that see the world the way I do. This is cool. It's a lot better. I'm gonna be totally upfront and honest with you. It's been like 9 months since I've been in front of people. So if you, I don't know if anybody lost their job from fucking COVID and had 9 months off, but the first couple days might have fucking sucked a little. So just bear with me, and if you got a problem with it, so do not care. But let's just have a fun time, man. Let's have a fucking laugh, right? Shit. Everybody here from Vernon? Are we all Vernon locals? See, that's how you can tell right there. That response, that was fucking potheads and non-alcoholics. They're like, yeah, man, we're from Vernon. I'm like, dude, okay. That's all right. We're starting on a low energy and we'll work on it. We got nitrates in the back. Man, I don't know how old all of you guys are, man. I'm just happy that we can even have this fucking event. Do you remember when like buying weed was a pain in the ass? Do you remember that shit, man? Like, I'm 45 years old, dude. I remember sitting there going, calling the guy, and like 6 hours later, he was like, I forgot. And fucking, it was the worst, man. At least you got fucking hours that I can function with and a patio. You know? Like, one of the worst pothead trips ever, man. The guy's like, hey, just meet me in this fucking side road. Park on the side of the road. I'll be there. We pull up, there's like 15 fucking cars, man. And then we're like, this can't be all for the same thing because we're 17 and high and we're like, logic doesn't fucking go there yet. And they're just like, no, car pulls up, every fucking one of them. And like, we're like 12th in line. And you know, you're fucking really wanting to get some weed, so you're just like, this really seems sketchy, but let's see it through. You know, like you don't give a fuck. I'm not calling another guy who's gonna fucking forget me for the next 7 hours. Man, I love this fucking place. This is good. I love this on treaty land. My son came up from the coast, pre-travel restriction, right? So that was nice. He came up for a fucking little visit, which was cool. And he's like native, because, you know, my dad immigrated here from Scotland, and he was like, I would prefer if you amalgamated it into the culture. I was like, wicked, okay, we'll do that. You know, it was good. It's weird raising a native kid if you're a white guy. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of people get home from work and they're like, oh dad, I love you, la la. I get home, they're like, sup, whitey? I'm like, for real? For real? I'm like, dude, is your room clean? He's like, that's my room. You gave me that room. That's fucking mine. I'm like, dude, could you just mow the lawn? He's like, well, you want to kill my land? I'm like, dude. Tearing my fucking heart out. Now he's like 27, which is not only 6 months older than my ex, but it's just fucking weird, right? Like, I mean, I had him at 18. I didn't have normal hobbies, you know? Guys were like, I collect sports cards. I'm like, man, girls smell nice. Like, it just fucking got weird for me at a young age, you know? And it's cool, like, me and his mom fucking love each other. I got another kid. Me and his mom both breathe air. She's a different type of lady. But, you know, you know what? I don't know why I'm holding this as a fucking comfort blanket. For Christ's sake. What are we fucking doing here? Oh, this feels fucking great. I know a lot of people hate Trudeau, but I'm not gonna lie, when he got elected and made weed legal, I was flying a lot, and dude, I'm carrying 30 grams of fucking underneath and 30 grams on carry-on. Let's give the boy a chance, you know what I mean? He ain't all that fucking bad. You know, his mom banged the Stones. She's a hip lady. Let's fucking get behind that shit, man. Put her in fucking Andrew Scheer or something where it's like, oh yeah, no, I don't even see a soul in your fucking eyes. That's nice, cool, thanks.
I vote conservative.
That's good, man, that's wicked. I lived in Alberta, and some people fuck their cousins. We all make mistakes, bro. We all make mistakes. We're here now, and that's what's important. That's wicked. Dude, your dog doesn't have a mask. Just kidding. Anyway. Going back, I love it. When I started flying, I would go in, I'd check my bag underneath, and I'd go out to the fucking parking lot. Whoa, this is fucking like cancer. I go back out to the parking lot, smoke a joint, and instead of fucking trying to air out, I just blow it all into my coat and go through security like it's my time now, motherfucker. Like, it was the best. Like, do you have any weed on you? As a matter of fact, I do. I have scissors that are too small for you to say no to. I got fucking all this shit. I got shatter. You don't even know what that is. It's wicked. One time I went through, I had all these bags, like, oh, we don't know how much weed's in here. I'm like, well, why don't you grab your scale? I'm like, we don't have a scale. I'm like, okay. So you're enforcing a law based on weight. And you don't have a scale? And they're like, no. You want to know how much weight's there? They're like, sure. And I'm like, this is the best fucking game ever. I love you guys. And I always show up early for my flight, right? Because I air out before I get on the plane. I respect my fellow passengers. I just like to fuck with security. It's fun, man. Come on. I mean, I remember fucking back in the day when you wanted to travel with weed and you'd have to wear tighty whities and stuff them, you know, and you see a fucking dog and you don't know it only smells cocaine. You're just like, I think it's gonna smell me, and you're fucking shitting yourself. And I dated this girl, we were in Vancouver, visited her parents for fucking like, you know, the holidays, went to a Smashing Pumpkins concert, has nothing to do with the story. I just want to say, live, they suck. Anyway, so, fucking we're leaving, and I'm like, oh, we gotta hang out with her mom. Her mom fucking hates pot. So I got the tighty whities, man. Get her right there. Right there. Like I'm walking around with like fucking big dick energy, like, I'm pretending. But nonetheless, we're going, all of a sudden we get on the airplane, didn't think anything about it, man. We hung out for fucking like 4 hours with a kid and a bunch of bullshit. All of a sudden we get on the airplane and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, take a piss, and no bag of weed falls out. And I'm a little high, so I'm not even thinking about it. And then I get back to my seat, she's sleeping, and I'm like, oh, this isn't like great. You know, like maybe I just dropped a fucking ½ ounce in the backseat of her mom's car, and that's not gonna get me invited to fucking the next holiday. Guaranteed, man, guaranteed. And so then I'm shitting myself, and I'm like, oh, maybe it fell out of the washroom. Because I wouldn't have fucking noticed that, but I go back into the washroom, I'm fucking looking around, there's nothing, I'm freaking out, I'm like, oh, this sucks. The way, you know, server comes up, she's like, can I get you anything? I'm like, a glass of ice, 2 of those little bottles of Bacardi, and a can of Coke. So she gives me 2 glasses, and I don't even think about it. I pour a bottle of Bacardi into a full glass of ice, and then like basically blow the foam off the fucking Coke to top it off. And I'm sitting there just freaking out, and I'm like, wait a second, maybe this thing went taint bound. It could happen. There's a lot of shifting around. So I literally reach down my pants. There's 2 seats, a spare one, 3 people. Nice, loving family. They really look like they cared about each other and shit, you know, like those type of people. And I reach down my pants, and as I get past my testicular sac, that's for the medical folk here, I feel plastic, and I have never... The excitement. The overwhelming joy that you feel when you're just like, imagine living in Edmonton in 1997. You're bringing back a fucking ½ ounce of some nice BC Bud, like it's so crystally, you don't know if you're sweating or whatever, but you're sticky. You know you're sticky. And all of a sudden you feel that fucking bag, and I'm like, yes! And I'm fucking pumping my fists and shit like this, and they're just looking over like, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? And it's like, whatever. I wake her up and I'm like, I found my weed! Like, you might want to shut the fuck up on an airplane. I'm like, yeah, baby. Good boy. Yeah, man. So then I waited. I fucking lived in Alberta way too long. I did. My fucking woo. Who wooed it? No, that's not a celebration. It's where dreams go to fucking die. You know what I mean? Where in Alberta did you live? Edmonton. I did too. Not the asshole of Earth, but you could fucking see it from there. You know what I mean? Like it's visible. You don't even need binoculars. You're like, smells a little nasty. Whereabouts in Edmonton do you live?
Bruceville, we came from.
Oh, Bruceville. You didn't live in Edmonton, you hoity-toity mother. Where's that?
Castle Downs.
Castle Downs. See, that's some fucking hood rat shit. You're like, right there, she's like, we're borderlining North End, and we're still better than Mill Woods, but she knows what the fuck is up in Castle Downs. You ever go to Sherlock Holmes in Castle Downs?
I did, yeah.
Guy did too. Anyway, because there's nothing else to do in Alberta. I didn't know shit when I moved to Alberta. When I moved to Alberta, I was young, man. I was like, hey, I got a kid. I had a kid at 18. I'm like, I should probably stop dealing cocaine, and I don't know how to do that, so I'm going to move to Edmonton and try to fucking be a good dad. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but I don't have a prison body frame, you know? And so at like 20 years old, I was like, this isn't going to fuck you. You're not that goddamn funny, son. You're going to be regular as fuck, but you're not that funny. You should probably get out of this game. Move to Edmonton before they had an economy, because why would you want to go there when you could make money? What would the fun of that be? So you get there, and Edmonton's a fucking weird place. I didn't know Like growing up in BC, man, I fucking grew up in the Lower Mainland, went to school in Summerland and shit. Like, I didn't know people didn't smoke pot. I was fucking flabbergasted when I moved to Alberta, man. I was like, hey, do you know where I get some weed? And they're like, no, man, I don't smoke weed. I'm like, fuck, you gotta lie to me, man. I'm not
not very good
bro.
when you do
Fucking help me out. And I didn't realize it, but they do replace that shit with alcohol. Like, nobody's fucking business. Like, some people, like, don't smoke weed, but when you go for a beer, it's like a picture shows up and you're like, well, of course, it's 11:30 in the morning. You must be parched, you know? And I should have known too, right? Because you drive there, you come through Jasper, all of a sudden the highway gets a little wider, beer gets a little cheaper, and have rumble strips like alcoholic pinball for these fucking people. Like, we'll stay the course. We're gonna make it an instant. Like, it was a fucked up place, man. It was madness, dude. I love fucking Alberta. They got all their big shit, they're like, oh, we got a boot. And you're like, yeah, you fucking do, that's awesome. You got a poop. What the fuck have you been talking to me for? We have an alien landing site. St. Paul, Alberta has an alien landing site. Because when I heard of St. Paul, I was like, fuck, gateway to the universe, of course, right? You know, like they're the most intelligent people in the world. They're like, wow, aliens are gonna show up and look at all those resources. We're gonna take their fucking water. We're gonna take their air. No parking. Fuck St. Paul! Gateway to the universe. They're fucked up, man. Bakerville has a rotating fucking Ukrainian egg. It rotates. You don't realize it rotates because any normal person doesn't stare at it that long. But you smoke a big fucking joint and you're like, is that moving? It's fucking moving. And it doesn't even work on like a motor. It works on the wind. So just when you think you figured it out, it goes the other fucking way. It's insane. It blows my fucking mind. Ah, this thing keeps going out. You guys having a good time so far? Yeah, see, once again, pothead reaction to a comedy show. This is the weirdest thing. I think I should be doing this in a fucking hammock. This is awesome. I like how fucking the picture that they used for me is when I still had really long hair, man, and then I show up and they're like, who's this fucking bitch? And so I had to cut my hair though, because when I moved here, somebody thought I panhandled at the big Safeway. I fucking went to, she's actually here tonight. I went over to a party, and then the next fucking day, she gets a hold of me and she's like, hey, my roommate wants to know if you panhandle at the big Safeway. And at first I'm like, okay, fuck is a big Safeway? Like, I don't know what you're even fucking talking to me about. And I was just about offended, right? I was just about mad, like, you think I'm fucking panhandle? And then I'm like, wait a second. Homeless doppelganger? Oh, I fucking like the fact that I moved here, man. So then I made it a mission. I was like, I gotta find this fucking dude. You know, because like, I looked homeless, but I use a loofah. I smell fantastic, okay? Like, let's not fuck around with this. Like, people will come up and be like, oh, I want to give him some change. Is that Dewberry? Yes, it is, sir. Yes, it is. And so, like, you know, like, I couldn't really make as much money as I wanted to, but I wanted to find this dude, just walked up to him with a toonie and be like, hey, man, I'm you from the future. Let's hose you down and turn this franchise around. What do you think? You know, wanted to bring him home. Rachel was one of my own. I thought it would have been fucking fantastic. Like, the Van Trapp family of fucking homeless people. We could panhandle the fuck out of this town, man. I was like, I'll teach you a card trick. It'll be great. It'll be shtick. It's fun. Fun time. You know what else is a fun time? Let's just get real for a second, because fucking, has COVID been weird for all you guys? Anybody here lose their fucking gig for a bit? No? Everybody's just like, fuck it, dude. See, you can't go to work. Watch me. With the pace you work at, it still seems like part-time though, right? Like, holy fuck, I did construction in fucking Alberta. I came out here and I was like, you guys are the most chill sons of bitches I've ever seen in the world, man. Heavy equipment, what are you working? Like 36 hours a week? Fucking like it. They don't want to give me OT. Okay, man. Cool. And I work with some weird fucking cats in Alberta. There's some crazy shit. Like, you know those times when you see a heavy equipment show and you're like, that's entertaining. We could have had one. We just all been fired or arrested by the end of it. It was fucking insane. God bless them. I don't even want to talk about it. Don't know why I brought it up. I'm sorry. Let's carry on. Like I said, 9 fucking months. Jesus Christ. It's been sketchy. COVID was pretty good for me. I got a 25-year-old girlfriend for COVID. That was awesome. It was like fucking, the stimulus checks were fun, but a 25-year-old girlfriend? Are you shitting me? I was born in 1975. I was like, new car smell? That's fucking fantastic. It was wonderful. Until, you know, she started thinking and realized, holy fuck, this guy has some super old balls. I should probably get the fuck out of here. It's a weird duck, that one. It's really weird. There's a thing I've learned about the younger generation. They think that, like, their opinions and stuff, like, matter. And I wasn't raised that fucking way. I don't know, dude. I was raised in the 70s. It was like, you know, discipline was different when I was a kid. My dad was fresh off the boat from Scotland. It was like, are you getting hit? Nah, that's not really the question here. The question was like, which implement shall be used? You know? He just fucking smacks you on the ass. You're like, couldn't have been that bad. You know? Pulls out the wooden spoon. You're like, maybe I fucked up a little bit. Undoes the belt, shit your pants and cry. It's your only defense. It's your only defense in 1978. You know what I mean? You're like, maybe if I'm so poopy, he'll be so disgusted he won't touch me. I've carried that on through life. I never grew up to be a big guy, man. If you want to fucking jump me in the streets, I will shit my pants right there. And we'll see if you want to fucking go or not. What's your commitment level, my friend? Because I'm willing to throw down. Spend a week in the hospital, it isn't even going to take me any effort. What did you do? Just eat their food. Haven't had a solid fucking poop for a week. Here we go. Let's fucking get it on, son. Let's get it on. Try it. Try it. You want to get a little more comfort through Polson? You want to be a little more comfortable walking through Polson? I'll walk through Polson at 2 o'clock in the morning with big dick energy, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, what's up? Come get me now. You kind of not to. Dude, chat food, bro. Chat food. If I can get the Beastie Boys on this, we got a fucking Phil Man soundtrack. And it's weird. You want to hear something real fucking strange now that we've figured out kind of a little bit about who I am? I had custody of my son, and I didn't even fight for it. His mom was just like, hey, you want to take him for a while? And I was like, that sounds like a good idea to you. Fuck it, let's see how she goes, man. It was a really good time. It was weird being a comic and having a kid, though. And it's a strange fucking thing, because you want to teach them about, like, the birds and the bees, right? She's like, teach him about the birds and the bees. I'm like, he's 9, who fucking cares? I'm thinking to myself at night, I'm like, Transformers, you know, shit like that. And then all of a sudden it's like, teach him about the birds. I wanted to use analogies, right? I used fish swimming through a stream. Made sense to me, right? You know, tadpoles, don't do that shit. It's a fucking bad idea if you know anybody with kids. Because you're going to fuck them up, because you can take them to Safeway. It'll be like a 2.5 foot fucking trout with his head cut off, and your kid's going to have a fucking panic attack, man. He's going to be like, oh, you're going to feel cold. You're like, fuck, shut up, people are going to think you're retarded, don't. It was a little scary. And we lived in Edmonton, they had a dolphin show. Shit his pants, we had to leave. It was the middle of summer. It was fucking gross. I damaged him, but he's here tonight, 27 years old. Still alive. It's a good thing. You ever have that thing where it's like, oh, my parents are so fucked up that I'm gonna go and be decent? I knew that game. I took one for the team, you know? Got a good kid. And he's like, yeah, you're a fucking head case, Dad. Oh, yeah, and that's fine. Any other head cases? No, people don't like to admit shit already. I will give you advice. If you want a really cheap Airbnb, words right down there. And they'll just fucking let you in. And they'll be like, hey, why don't you take a bunch of drugs and just chill the fuck out? And you're like, you got Wi-Fi? Fuck it, I'm in. It's a good time. So I've heard 2 weeks ago. Now it's getting weird, right? Now you're like, oh, did he get out there? Was that what happened? Yeah, 100%. It was a fucking blast, dude. I had the best time in the world. I was having like some fucking chest pains and shit. And I was like, fuck this. I don't want to go to work. Maybe I'll go to a psych ward instead. That sounds fun. Went in there. Weirdest thing, new people. That's a really fucking weird thing when you walk into a psych ward all hopped up on whatever they're giving you and you're like, oh shit, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a while. That's fucked up. Then the nurse comes in, cleaning up the rooms, and she knows you, hands you a distillate pen, and says, enjoy the next few days. And you're like, fucking sweet. These are those moments where it gets really awkward because everybody's gone, this motherfucker full of shit. That's all right. You can be there. I'm kind of going to enjoy this awkward moment. You guys enjoying it? Alberta? You don't smoke? That's okay, that's fine. You were from Alberta, right? So you've seen weird shit happen at family reunions. Things get awkward. Yeah, so it doesn't need to just be weird, it could be awkward. Oh, honestly, it's been so long since I've been on stage. There were some comics who feel really fucking awkward right now. I'm gonna soak this shit in. I fucking love this. What's up, reflective glasses? You do know you're in a tent, right? Like, I'm just saying, bro, the sun is not in here. They even have lights. That's wicked. Oh, I'm loving this. My kid's like, shit, this is definitely my father. We had some weird times. We had some weird times growing up. It was good times. I like when my son first found out I smoked weed, because he already smoked weed when he found out I did. And like, I'm not saying that he was dumb when he was a kid, but my hair was down to here and I had a fucking big bushy beard, and it's like, yeah, I'm not flying under the fucking radar. You know what I mean? Like, people, I would get offended when people are like, do you smoke pot? And I'm like, no, I just like to get fucking cavity searched at fucking airports. Like, this is the vibe I'm going for. It's been really strange, man. COVID's been fucking strange. You know what, like, I don't think the mask's a big fucking deal, but honestly, it's these people who are like, I'm serious, like chicken pox. Like, really? Or they're like, we don't do it with other diseases, right? I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember when you got chicken pox, you'd stay home from school, all your fucking friends would show up, they'd all get chicken pox, and a fucking big party and shit like that. And then, it worked, but it doesn't mean it was a good fucking idea. You know what I mean? And we don't do this with other diseases, right? It's not like your buddy calls you up on a fucking Tuesday, he's like, yeah man, I saw the doctor yesterday. AIDS. Super Bowl at your place? Yeah, AIDS party! Woo! Get it over with now! Like, we don't fucking, that's insane, right? So, like, we were like, we got it all figured out. Fuck you, you got shit figured out. Jesus Christ. The medical advice is brilliant, man. I remember this guy at the beginning of it going, you just gotta take a hair dryer, put it on high, blow it in your face for 90 seconds, and this is the key part, twice. COVID won't get you. And I was like, cool, man. So like, I'm getting $20 on pump 2, doc. You know what I mean? Like, what are you, subletting? I'm just fucking paying for the pool at nights here at the 7-Eleven. Yeah, thanks, pal. You know what? Add it to keto. Add it to keto, because I like the cut of your fucking jib, son. Unfucking real, man. It just fucking kills me. And these people are like, you're taking away my freedom. Dude, you were the lamest fucking revolution in the history of fucking time. You know, like, history's gonna be written there like, you know what? I didn't like cloth on my face and washing my hands. Oh, way to go, Martin Luther King. Thanks for fucking getting up here and showing us all how to live free. Like, fuck off, Bruce Willis. Jesus Christ. Fucking dying hard. Yeah, nice soapbox, fuckface. Do me a favor. When you take your mask off, slam your balls in the door of your fucking car, because we don't need you procreating. We don't need it. Man, when I dated a young girl, I tried to stay woke, right? That's a weird thing, but when you come 45 and you see all these dinosaurs, like, I didn't want to, how do you date a 25-year-old and still once a day go, get off my lawn? Like, it doesn't work out, right? So I'm trying to fucking do the effort, put the effort in. So I tried to, like, you know, look at this fucker, because she was like, oh, I was like, all right, cool, we'll figure it out. And I don't understand fucking anything, but I'm trying to figure it out. Like the non-binary thing. Do you guys, like, does it make sense to you? At its core, it doesn't make a fucking lick of sense to me. But on the surface, It's just like some people that are like, this is what I want to be called. Sting did it. We all got on board. Fuck it. You know, like P. Diddy does it every 6 months. We're like, fucking yeah, go for it. Put out another shitty album. So whatever you want to be called, that's fucking fine. I'm down with it. I get it. That's cool. I may not get it at its core, but I'm trying to understand it. And then there was like the transgender in the washroom thing. For real? Like, look, I lived in East Vancouver. Okay, the amount of times a transgender was probably in the washroom with me, I couldn't even fucking count, you know, with a fucking abacus. You know, the amount of times I noticed, 0, because I was pissing or shitting. Ah, you know what I mean? Like, and if you're somebody who's gonna come up and be like, oh, you know what, I saw transgender washroom, that really offended me. Do me a favor, stop fucking leering at people in the public washroom, get the fuck out of here, you're probably the goddamn problem. I don't give a fuck how you identify, you probably identify as somebody who has to poop from time to time, man. Who the fuck am I to stop you? When you were growing up, everybody had a unisex washroom. What the fuck is the problem here? It's not like you layered into them. What's up, Mom? Missing them titties. Like, come on, stop being fucking sick about everything. Jesus Christ. Like, if you get off on watching people piss and shit, I don't care what you identify as, you're gonna get found out. It's not gonna take fucking long. You know, so like, come on, man, let's all just fucking relax a little bit. Man, damn, what time is it?
Time for you to get a watch.
I'm not even gonna do it, man. They all know. Like, oh, you fuck with the community, it tears you up. With that one, don't have to. It's okay. It's okay. Just go home, make your fucking pipe bomb, whatever you're gonna do there, Al-Qaeda. Fucking like you picked the wrong town. 9/11 would never happen in Vernon. There'd be a Cessna going, is there one tall building here? I don't know what's going on. See, that's why it's not racist, because you take a fucking, you know, Nation of Islam person, you give them a fucking Kentucky accent, and we're all cool. If I was like, what the hell? That'd be fucked up, right? But I was like, man, them goddamn fucking for the love of that lie. You know what I mean? So that's a little contradictory. Wrap your minds around it, it's okay. It's a slow burn. We can fucking do this all night. Unless I go over 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna fucking leave. 'Cause no, man, this has been fucking cool for me because it has actually been 9 months, and the last time I did comedy was in Kamloops, and I mean, come on. Fucking Kamloops, right? No, nobody's that local to realize that Kamloops is the asshole of the Okanagan. Nobody remembers that, like, Kamloops is, like, you know, where dreams go to fucking die, you know? Sister city to fucking Mill Woods. What? Good, man. I did it. The first joke I ever fucking did on stage, okay, was just because I'm just feeling good about it. First joke I ever did on stage was in Edmonton for Yuck Yucks, right? And being an asshole, I got introduced as like, your next comedian, it's his first time doing stand-up. He's originally from Vancouver, and you know, he's here now, bring him on stage. This is the first joke I did. I was like, look, I just moved here, and I didn't expect a lot of culture shock, right? It's like an hour and 20 minutes on a plane. I thought, how different could it be? And then I got off the plane and I was like, man, if I don't fuck my sister soon, somebody's gonna know I'm a tourist. And then I was like, look, no, I get it. I don't even actually have a sister. I got a brother though. And we don't talk so much these days. I mean, we do, but it's softer tones. It's more like, shh, shh. And I'm like, fuck off, we're adopted. There's no blood, just love. What I learned that day is that if you want to make fun of the people that you're in front of, probably don't open with that. Like, maybe make fun of Vancouver first, because they're just like, oh, this guy's a fucking asshole. And I can't, you know, deny them, because I am. But, you know, what time is it? See, this is how it's going.
5:42.
5:42? Oh, shit. You guys are on board.
Still got 3.
So you said I still have 3 minutes? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh, from behind the fucking wall you're talking shit? Is that what's going on here? Oh, sorry, man. Black Lives Matter. Was that okay? See, that's good. See, back in the day, you could talk that shit and walk away, and now you gotta come back and be like, was that cool? Are we alright? Was that cool? I love it. Yeah, but it was strange living in Alberta, mostly because I was raised in Richmond, right? So like I had like delusions of like, height and shit like that, Like in elementary school, I had a fucking NBA dream. I'm like, I'm taller than these fuckers, and I got an outside jump shot. That's fucking wicked. Go to Alberta, and 14-year-olds are like, oh, fuck me, this is over. It's horrible. It is horrible. I do like having my kid up here, which is nice. I do like the fact that he borderline broke the law to get here too. That makes him fucking part of my family, which is nice. It's good. Oh, did I just call you out? That's okay. He'll pull the native card if you do any shit with him though. He'll just be like, ooh, what the fuck? And you're just like, goddamn, just fucking keep it quiet. Move on. That's good. I like it. It's been a fun time. I am gonna let you go, but before I do, when I was fucking, dealing with being an 18-year-old that was about to have a fucking child, because, it's really exciting when you can't have a beer to celebrate your fucking misery because you live in BC and you're underage, but they totally let me knock her up. It's fucking a weird thing, right? And so I was like obsessing, right? Because I believe in karma and shit like that, right? It's like, oh, you like girls? Well, guess what you have in store for you? I figured I was gonna have a daughter, like nobody's business, and I was just gonna fucking lose all my hair by 23 having panic attacks about assholes like me for the rest of my life. So I came up with a little bit of advice, right? And I thought about it real quick, and I was like, everybody was like, oh, buy a gun. And I'm like, oh shit, that's fucking like, that's child's play. You don't even need fucking ammo if you got a good, like, clean method when he shows up, just like, oh, you're picking my daughter? Whack it, and she'll be down in a minute. Like, but some guys are fucking ballsy these days. They play too much Call of Duty, shit like that. They think they're fucking agile and they're still borderline diabetic, but that's a different story for a different time. Anyway, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, well, some guys don't give a fuck about that. I have a little piece of advice. If you guys know anybody with little girls, like very young or about to have a daughter, take this one, because no matter how the world changes, this will always ring true. If you have a very little girl, just don't body train her. I mean, think about it, man. You do not know. She could grow up to be the hottest woman on earth, but I guarantee you, if she shits in the car, she will be home by now. Man, you guys have been a lot of fun. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of your 420 celebration.